All right, this is the I Believe speech assignment. For this one, you're going to present a 3-point speech on a personal attitude you have towards something. This will be a 1.5 to 2 minute speech. Requires no sources or visual aids, and actually, I recommend not including a visual aid just because it adds a lot of extra work on your part, and it's harder to maintain when you're giving the presentation. We want you basically just to get experience speaking in front of the class. That's one of the main points of this speech. We also want you to get used to developing a formal outline with 3 main points, and that includes using an introduction, body, conclusion, and transitions. You're going to get started using examples to support your main points, employing descriptive language, and start developing your extemporaneous speaking style. Like I said, you're going to create a 3-point speech. So the first thing you'll need to do is determine your thesis statement. What do you believe? And your thesis statement will start with, I believe something. And your whole speech basically follows the format of, I believe something because reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. Okay? So the example that's in your course packet is that I believe students should live on campus for their first year. And the reason 1, it encourages you to become part of the school culture. It ensures that you're in close proximity to important resources, and you can roll out of bed at the last minute. So you can see the first 2 are kind of serious, and the third one's a little bit fun. That's fine. The purpose of this speech is not to solve the world's problems. Like I said, it's just so you get in front of people, you have a clear organizational structure, and you speak extemporaneously. So again, you pick your topic. I'm going to go ahead and go through this with you as if I am doing my I Believe speech on how much I love sandwiches. So my topic is sandwiches. Second, develop a thesis statement that begins with I believe. I believe sandwiches are the best food ever. And then you need to pick 3 reasons why you believe as you do. And I will suggest to you that you keep your main points to 1 sentence. If it gets longer, it gets a little convoluted, it gets kind of hard to follow. And again, this is 1.5 to 2 minutes. This is a very brief speech. So I have 3 main points of you can start your day with a breakfast sandwich. At noon you can have a sandwich, and sandwiches are good for a fancy evening meal as well. So you have your 3 main points, and then you go back and you want to provide at least 2 examples to support each of your reasons or each of your main points. And these are now your subpoints. So for my breakfast sandwich, I know you can start your day with a breakfast sandwich. My first subpoint might be eggs and bacon on toast would be delicious to eat on your way to class. Or you could stop by McDonald's and pick up a breakfast sandwich there. Pretty simple. At noon, you can have a sandwich. That's my main point. My subpoints might be sandwiches are easy to pack, so you can eat at the office. And subpoint B, a light lunch of a sandwich and soup is also good. And then the main point 3, sandwiches are quite acceptable for a fancy evening meal. Subpoint A, a French dip au jus or a prime rib sandwich is filling. Or subpoint B, hamburgers, club sandwiches, or Monte Cristos are other options for your dinner. So those are just really simple examples that support each of my main points. Once you have your body done, that's called the body of your speech, you want to write the introduction, and then you want to write the conclusion. And then, as you can see, let me share this with you. This is the template that I, again, suggest that you all use. Just fill in the yellow things. So you see your main points, A, B, and C, and then your subpoints 1 and 2. For your introduction, you want an attention getter. So I might say, it's pretty common knowledge that Elvis loved fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Kind of gets your attention. It's kind of weird. Does what it's supposed to do. And then you want to give your thesis. I believe sandwiches are the best food ever. And then provide an overview. So because I'm talking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner options, I might say breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Sandwiches are good any time of the day. First, you can start your day with a breakfast sandwich. See how it rolls right into that first main point? And then you want to write your conclusion. And it's pretty similar to the introduction, just flipped. So you want to summarize and say, in conclusion, sandwiches are delicious no matter what time it is. Your thesis again, I believe sandwiches are the best food ever. And then a strong close. So I might say, whether you like paninis, subs, hoagies, burgers, double-deckers, sloppy joes, Dagwoods, or Reubens, they're all the same to me. Delicious. Sandwiches are good any time of the day. Something like that. It just, no pun intended, but it kind of sandwiches the intro and the conclusion sandwich the body. So it does look very similar. After you do your intro and conclusion, you want to include your transitions. And your transitions move you from one point to the next. And so in between my breakfast sandwich and noon sandwich, I might say, if you missed your sandwich at breakfast time, lunch is a good time for a sandwich. And then my transition between point 2 and point 3, I might say, sandwiches are or I might say, if you're not sick of sandwiches, and how could you be, sandwiches for dinner is another great idea. And then roll into the sandwiches are quite acceptable for a fancy evening meal. And then when you're done with that, you want to do your speaking notes and then practice your speech. And so I'm going to close this, but again, use the template, please. So practice or prepare your limited notes and practice your speech in a conversational style using those speaking notes. And there are a couple examples of speaking notes on Blackboard under the I Believe speech assignment in the examples folder. You want to practice your speech as much as you can without becoming sick of it, without it becoming memorized, because you still want it to come off extemporaneously. Now, some specific requirements with this assignment. The written requirement is that you need to submit your typed formal outline. So you need your name, the title of the speech, intro, 3 main points, conclusion, and that is all on the template. You also need to submit this via Turnitin by 4 p.m. the day of the presentation, and that link is in the I Believe folder as well. No visual requirements, and again, I strongly suggest you not use a visual at all. You have 1.5 to 2 minutes to make the presentation. If you go over or under that range, you're going to be penalized 1 point for each 30-second interval. And due to the tight time constraints, especially for this speech, you will be stopped if you hit 2 minutes. And if you are in the middle of your speech and you hit 2 minutes, that means you don't get your conclusion done, which means you don't get any points for your conclusion. So practice and make sure you're staying within that time range. Other things to keep in mind, limit your notes to just keywords. Don't write everything out. Don't script it. If you script it, then it sounds awful. You're just reading to us. It's not good. You do need to dress professionally, and business casual is appropriate. Cutoffs, t-shirts, jeans, shorts, shirts with words, flip-flops, sweats, not acceptable. I'm thinking khakis, casual black pants. In your section, instructor will give you more information about that, but I would just basically recommend business casual. And again, your checklist is here. It needs to be a formal typed outline, full sentences, and a 1.5 to 2 minute time frame. This is what you're getting graded on: 10 points for content, 10 points for delivery, 5 points for outline. So you can see everything that's going on there. These lines aren't showing up for me, but they're there, I promise you. And then your peer feedback form. You're going to provide feedback to one of your classmates. And right here you can see they're going to cut that off after they make sure that they got your peer feedback form. Your section instructor will cut that off and hand it back to whoever the speaker was. And that's it for the I Believe speech. If you're having any questions or any issues, please contact your section instructor and they'll be able to help you.